serial entrepreneur, Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
3 years ago, I set out on a mission to create the blueprint for how we could go into our own neighborhoods, buy blocks, renovate them, and combat the negative effects of gentrification. Today, that vision is reality. Our project is located in the heart of the historic Lyons Avenue Business District in 5th Ward of Houston. Lyons Avenue was once a thriving Black business district with businesses and commerce. However, after desegregation, that all changed. Now, we are recreating that legacy. These buildings are 100 years old. We just gave them a new life. This house was built in 1925 and was vacant for years. It's now a podcast studio and is rented out as an event space for everything from engagement parties to TV commercials, music videos. City Council even had meetings here. We've had birthday parties. We've had baby showers. And the $5,000 to $10,000 a month generated
Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, I invite you to reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here this week with you on a Thursday, and I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in, man. We have a really exciting episode planned for you this week, man, but I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand, and most importantly, he is the co-founder of Brooks and Davis real estate firm, man. I want to thank him again for carving some time out of his schedule to sit in on the podcast with us. I'd like to introduce my co-host, the Texas real estate king, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. What's going on, brother?
Yo, Ricky, we good, man. I have no complaints, man. It's been a beautiful week. Back here in the studio, man, doing what we do best, right?
Absolutely, out here making it happen, man. The weather has been great, man. It's been a great week to be out networking. What's been going on this week in the world of the Texas real estate king, man, and Brooks and Davis real estate firm?
No doubt. Well, man, I haven't stopped the birthday shenanigans. So, man, I still been hanging out, grubbing a little bit. And it's crazy because I've even been taking like a slight risk when it came to just getting my early mornings and getting my workouts in. So I just been kind of like enjoying this birthday moment, so it's been good. It's been fun, bro.
No, it's super cool. I've almost forgot that we hadn't had another episode of the podcast since our birthday weekend passed.
Yeah.
So, I want to make sure I give a big, huge shout out to all my friends and family up in Ohio, Cleveland, Akron, Columbus. Larry, as you know, man, we've had a couple of members of the Prime Real Estate Network alumni that are natives of Cleveland, Ohio. So big, huge shout out. Big, huge shout out to all those entrepreneurs and investors in Cleveland that see the value in Houston, that's starting to get their businesses and everything going down here in the TX. And I look forward to working with them up in Cleveland and us getting some things going up there, man, because while I was up in Ohio, saw some opportunities, man. So big, huge shout out, man. Birthday weekend was outstanding. So how was the weekend for you, brother? It was a good weekend?
It was a good weekend, man. Just slow boogie with it, relax a little bit. So, yeah, it was a good weekend.
Oh, no, man. We at the part of the show, Larry, where you give our audience some behind the scenes information on how we go about networking, meeting, and gaining commitments for the guests that we have on the Prime Real Estate Network. So could you share a little bit with our audience about how you were able to gain the commitment of this week's talented guests?
Well, the thing is many people know that at Brooks and Davis, we're in our growth stage. And so we're not only independently training realtors themselves, but we brought on teams. And so today's guest is actually a member of one of our outstanding teams that has really been flourishing up under the Brooks and Davis brand. and she's a part of that 5-star team. So she'll be able to give more details on it. But in that team, man, they've just been taking off like a wildfire. And so as we build out individual realtors, we're also building out teams, realtors that want to grow, but they're not ready to just have this huge brokerage firm. They want to build out a strong team and then go from there. So she's actually been a member of that team and doing amazing. So we'll let her get more details, but that's how we were able to find this diamond in the rough, man.
Absolutely, man. And without any further ado, I would like to introduce this week's guest. She is not only an outstanding entrepreneur, she is also one of the most highly respected real estate educators, mentors, and real estate producers. It's always my pleasure to interview other entrepreneurs and realtors under the Brooks and Davis real estate firm umbrella, especially that are members of a big team, because ultimately, Larry, this just shows how the foundation of mentorship and education at Brooks and Davis real estate firm, how that not only pays off for the agents that are currently with us, but it also pays off for the agents that come and join the Brooks and Davis real estate firm family, man. And it's and from your experience, Larry, before we bring on our guests, we don't always have the opportunity to interview realtors that are part of a team at a brokerage. From your experience, what have been some of the benefits that you've seen new agents be able to take advantage of when they're able to join a team and work with other people in that type of collaborative effort?
Well, the thing is, really what stands out for it when joining the team is you're not feeling like you're doing it by yourself, right? It gives you multiple layers of contacts, relationships that allow you to facilitate transactions and things of that matter. So like I was speaking to Champion School of Real Estate on Tuesday, and one of the things came up was the subject of, should I join a team? Should I go independent? And it varies between individuals, right? Some people work well with others. If you work well with others, a team concept could be something that you're open to walking into, because you'll get a lot of tutelage and a lot of different people that's going to pour into you as you get started. So there's no wrong way of joining real estate, but teams are most definitely pretty good.
The cool thing is that with your experience, you've worked independently, you've worked with different brokerages, you are a broker, you've done new home sales, you work for developers. Have you, Larry, ever been part of a team since you've been in the real estate space?
I'd like to think so. I think that like each one of those brands that you've kind of mentioned is something that I would put up under an ideal of a team. And actually, when me and Michael 14 years ago first started Brooks and Davis real estate firm, we're a team. You know what I mean? So I think that even in the Brooks and Davis office currently, there's teams in place. And so, yes, I have been a part of teams. Yes.
I know, the reason I asked that question is because just like you were asked that question when you were over at Champion School of Real Estate, these are the type of things that when we're out networking, we meet new agents, they have questions about. And just like you stated, it's almost like a personal preference, a personality type of thing, where some personality types are best geared to working independently because they're creative. They can come up with unique ideas. They're self-starters. They're go-getters. You don't have to tell them to wake up at 4:45 in the morning because they already wake up at 4:30.
That's true.
Whereas there are other people who that spirit of teamwork, that spirit of I can't let my team down, is what motivates them to work as efficiently and push it all the way to the edge. So it's just I urge everyone, especially if you are currently studying and you're studying towards your real estate license and you're getting ready to embark upon this career in real estate, to take one of those self-evaluation tests. They have different personality tests that people can find online, that people can find via Googling, and it'll give you an idea of, from a business perspective, what type of personality you have. And that might very well help someone make an informed decision about what type of real estate process or what type of brokerage or what type of real estate setup do they want to actually be able to get involved and take advantage of. So now you just mentioned that you were at Champion School of Real Estate on Tuesday. You've been working with Champions for what? Is it safe to say, Larry, over 10 years? You've had an established relationship with Champions?
At least Man, well, I mean, I got licensed there myself. So, that starts my foundation of 20 years ago.
Right.
But in addition to that, just physically going up and having an opportunity to participate with the students, at least 14 years.
And what is it about Champions? Because even though you were licensed there, you've had ample opportunity and met different representatives from different real estate education schools, websites, and platforms. What is it about Champions that speaks to you not only as someone who studied there, but as a business owner that continues to work with them and partner with that particular real estate school?
I think it's respect. It's respect and relationship, right? At the different schools that I've spoken at, the 3 locations here in Houston, it's always been mad love of respect. I've had an opportunity to sit down and break bread with Rita Santa Maria, the founder of Champion School of Real Estate. I was actually featured in her second book, the real estate champions, and I was featured on chapter 5 in there. So I think it's the bigger part for me is the respect that we've created with that school, with the owner of that school, with the people that are responsible for the growth of that school. And that's a big thing for me and us at Brooks and Davis. So I think that's where that power and that relationship continues to grow at. And it has the best educators, right? It has the best educators when it comes to people getting their licenses.
The thing about Champions that I've always been impressed with is that for those who actually need a true classroom in-person setting, they do a great job of providing that, while at the same time, those that have become more, who will become more preferable towards distance learning, or learning online, they have an equally effective online platform that students can take advantage of as well. So from that standpoint, I love it because they give you the best of both worlds. They make it as accessible as any real estate school that I've had an opportunity to meet and find out more about. So from that standpoint, man, big, huge shout out to everybody over at Champions. And I think we can introduce this week's guest, Larry. So I want to introduce her, man. She is a beloved member of the Brooks and Davis real estate firm family. She is a realtor, entrepreneur. She's an educator and a real estate mentor, one of the real estate rock star producers from the 5-star team. And I'd like to introduce her to the Prime Real Estate Network audience. And I'd like to thank for coming on the show, Miss CuLesha D. Collins.
Sorry. There we go. Hey, everyone. Thank y'all so much for having me on this week.
Oh, no. We never pass up an opportunity to interview 5-star talent. So we appreciate you for carving some time out your schedule, Ms. Collins. But first thing, could you just introduce yourself, your real estate team, and tell us a little bit of something about your real estate brand and your real estate business?
So I am CuLesha D. Collins. I am as you already said, realtor, mentor, a little bit of everything, entrepreneur, everything you think of. So I'm part of the 5-star team, which is of course part of Brooks and Davis real estate firm. I recently came aboard the team in July, and it's been a great experience so far. It's a lot of teamwork. It's a lot of love. It's a lot of, so it's been a great experience.
First thing, I want to thank you so much for sitting in and congratulate you, because Larry knows that we put out the invitation to all the members of the Brooks and Davis real estate family to come in and sit in with us. And I want to thank you so much for accepting our invitation and sitting in. One of the questions that Larry and I were throwing back and forth before we brought you on screen was the benefits of working as a part of a real estate team and having that team be able to support you from that standpoint. So could you share with our audience some of the benefits that you found being a member of the 5-star team?
So the benefits are, it's a little bit more of a personal experience. So you're not by yourself. Anytime you have questions, if you need someone to partner with you on a transaction, anything like that, it's very helpful. It's very beneficial. And especially for newer agents coming in, a team could be really attractive for them because of those same aspects. They have someone there every step of the way. They're not by themselves, and we all work together, kind of move as one team. So.
The best thing about your team that I've had an opportunity to watch and experience knowing you all is how you guys are so collaborative and you're so supportive of each other. Like when a member of the 5-star team has an open house, you can expect to see at least 2 to 3 or 4 members of the 5-star team at their open house.
Yes.
And just from that standpoint, how beneficial is it for you as an entrepreneur and a saleswoman out here trying to make these deals happen to know you have the support of like-minded professionals, people that you can bounce ideas off of, people that you can bounce your frustrations out on, and that can put you in a mental space to keep pushing forward? Because I know I call Larry sometimes when I get frustrated and vice versa. How much of a benefit is it for you to have members of your team like that?
So it's a big benefit because we're never by ourselves. And like you said, you know, we have an open house. There's going to be people there. There's going to be other of our members. We have 3 open houses this weekend. You'll probably see every member of the 5-star team somewhere this weekend.
Right.
So it's really great. And then, you know, like you said, how you call Larry, it's the same with us. If we need to vent, if we have something going on, maybe we need help. It's that extra push of motivation we need. Sometimes it's just the thought process. Maybe we need to kind of go over something and we're hitting a brick wall with it. We can call one of our teammates and, you know, kind of bounce things off the wall with them, and they can help us, you know, see things a different way. So.
Yeah. You know, the cool thing is, cause I want to ask you, because, you know, 2022 for a lot of real estate professionals have been challenging, but then there's a lot of other real estate professionals that have found some great opportunities in the current real estate market. What type of things, products, areas have you been focusing on working with your clients? Is there anything that you would like to share to those potential buyers or sellers that may see this interview today?
So right now, the main thing I'm focusing on with my clients is credit, of course, because
absolutely,
I mean credit. So I work with, usually I center my focus on renters and first-time home buyers, and then I also work with investors. So no matter where they're at on that spectrum, credit is always a really important thing. Getting your finances in order. And so I talk a lot with my renters. I work with them from the process, you know, in the beginning, from renting until they're ready to buy. And so I'm there pretty much every step of the way. And I'm always drilling in their head, you know, we got to work on that credit. And while we're, you know, working on credit, we're working on saving up for down payments and all of those things like that. So
yeah. And you know what's amazing about that is that the tutelage that you're giving them or teaching them steps now will allow them to keep their home too. See, a lot of times I remember back in 2008, you know, when people were purchasing a lot of brand new homes, no one was walking them through the strength of keeping their credit in order, the strength of saving up and putting skin in the game with you having your deposit, or being able to just take the time to learn the things that you needed to. And so many foreclosures took place because people didn't take it serious. They didn't understand the value of it. So you holding their hands and helping them get ready, and then getting them into there when it gets time for them to hold on to their property, or times get tough, they're going to remember the labor that they put in before actually acquiring that property and being able to hold on to it. So I think that's amazing. Those are great steps to take with them.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm really, like I said before, it's so cool having you on the pod because, of course, Larry and I know the members of the 5-star team. We know the type of work that you ladies put in. But just for public consumption, as far as new homes and new builds, I know you guys have great relationships with certain builders. You have great relationships in certain neighborhoods and communities. Without getting overly specific, unless you feel comfortable doing so, what are some areas of Harris County and Greater Houston where buyers who reach out to you might be able to find great value? And what areas do you feel like you like to introduce your clients to?
So with that, it varies. It varies. So I guess I won't get specific. The areas vary. It just depends on that particular client, what's best for them, where they.
It's okay. That matrix slid in a little bit. It'll bounce back.
Hey, look, that's when you know you're giving up real G. She giving all the game up right there. We'll get Miss Collins back online, but while we're waiting her to log back in, I'll just ask Larry. Larry, when? Because, you know, for the last couple of years, a lot of the new home communities and developers, they have been a lot more, let's say, conservative when it comes to their incentives, the things that they would allow or offer to a potential buyer to make the transition and the close a lot easier. But this year in 2022, it seems as if there's been a switch. And the developers are being a lot more generous. There are bigger incentives out there, bigger bonuses. So just as a broker, what have you seen, Larry, as far as the new home field and what the developers are doing to try to facilitate keeping that buyer business coming in?
Yeah, well, you know, it's market demand, right? Like ultimately what comes up, but like in last year, interest rates were super low, so they didn't have to give as much for people to want to acquire property. Well, guess what? Interest rates have went up. So now a buyer still needs to feel like they're getting a little bit more value. And so they have to make more of those incentives opportunity or better, right? So I think that that's what a lot of the builders have been going through. That's what they're looking at as far as them wanting to get the right type of people that are credit worthy, that's not going to allow the properties or their new home communities to be dilapidated. So they're offering them more things. And so I think it's perfect. I think that it's the kind of market that I remember before we had interest rates drop to 3%. When we were at that 6, a lot of people don't know, before 2008, 2005, interest rates were about 5 to 6. If you was getting 5 to 6, you was ecstatic about that. So I think it's all in the vision of the experience of being in the real estate thing. Like, again, 5s are not new. I remember 5s were exciting back in the days. And so we're back at that point. And again, it doesn't take away a lot, but I think that's why the builders are giving so much right now, or giving a little bit more than they had in the last year or two.
Now, you know, myself, like I said, I've worked with developers. I've worked in new homes. You've worked with developers. You've worked with new homes. So we've always seen the value of bringing buyers to those communities where the value is and where they can work with quality professionals.
That's right.
But for all those new agents who haven't had boots on the ground, who haven't had to have the guerrilla marketing tactics of Mr. Larry Brooks, could you just illustrate for our audience the true value and how working in new home communities and developing those relationships with those new home salespeople could just get deal on top of deal on top of deal? Because I think when people are new, they don't always know how to leverage those relationships. So give them a little game, Larry.
Well, yeah, no, I think leveraging the relationships is important, because the thing is that a lot of times when people are in new home sales, they usually stay in new home sales for quite some time, at least 5 to 10 plus years, right? And so with that, they transition. They may help build out one community on the southeast side of town. Then they may move to the northeast side of town. But the reason why I say it's important to build our relationships with people is because in these communities, you're going to one day as an agent want to identify your farming area. And what that is where the place where you spend most of your time, you spend most of your marketing dollars building our relationships. Well, if you can build a relationship to a community that's got a new home sales counselor, you can kind of be boots on the ground, right? Like I remember there was a community, it's called Brunswick Meadows. It's up and down the 288 corridor. It's always been located near my office, but I specialized in that community, right? I specialized in it because I got me a folder together that had all of their floor plans. Every week I would visit with the new home sales counselor that knew what was going on, what was updating, where the retention ponds was, if a retention pond looked like a lake, but it was really a retention, like I knew these things.
Right.
So I was educated, right? So when it came down to that community, after the new home sales counselors moved out, I heavily formed in that community because I literally knew it. I watched it from the ground up. And so building a relationship with new home sales agents, it allows you to know what's going on, when things are changing in that community. And then B, as you build out your business and they go into different communities and different areas, you get to keep those relationships and kind of be front line on when you can come in as a sales agent, maybe host a open house for a builder and build out relationships with new people that may be coming to acquire, things like that. So, but it's a give and take, right? You got to be able to bring something. New home sales agents need you to bring them potential clients. So you building our relationships, but you're also helping out with that too.
That's outstanding, man. Every so often, man, I like to have you dust off the old sword, man, and pull it out the holster and show these newbies how I used to get down out here, man. But we have Miss Collins back online, so I want to bring her back on the show. I'd like to introduce Miss CuLesha D. Collins of the 5-star team at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. How you doing, Queen?
Hey, I'm doing great. So sorry.
No apologies needed. No, I love having you on, and that just leads in. It's a natural segue to what Larry and I was just talking about. Your first-time buyers, Miss Collins, when you're talking to them about potentially building a home from scratch or working with a developer, what are some of the anxiety that you've noticed first-time buyers go through when they're building that first home and they can't actually see it already on the ground, and you got to illustrate for them the value of building?
So like you said, they can't see it. So sometimes it's hard for those first time buyers to picture it, to imagine it. They're nervous, they're afraid, they're listening to input from friends and family and everybody else, and it has them thinking all these different thoughts. And so, you know, that's the main thing is, like you said, drawing out that picture for them, letting them know, hey, when this is said and done, it's okay. It's gonna be everything you want it to be. You know, it'll be perfect. So
you know, one of the cool things about working with first-time buyers, especially when they're building their first home from scratch, is that you can educate them on the value of being one of those first homes in the community and taking advantage of that equity build as the developer builds out the community. A lot of times with first-time buyers, they want to purchase older homes because they want to maximize size. There's certain amenities that they're looking for, but the communities may be older and more established. And it doesn't necessarily give them that opportunity to take advantage of that appreciation wave like they would if they stayed in a newer community or had the home built from scratch. But for all of those clients that work with you, for all the lenders that have partnered with you, for everyone in the real estate industry that you've networked with, I want to give them an opportunity to find out something new about Miss Collins that they hadn't known about previously. So just between me, you, and Larry, and everybody else who's watching the pod, could you share with our audience what your life was like before real estate and what you did before you became a business owner and entrepreneur?
So before real estate, I have worked in production plants. Actually,
that's interesting.
I worked in production plants in management. So I worked for JBS for a while, and I worked for Georgia Pacific with the Coke industry. And so that was all in East Texas. And then when I relocated here to Houston, I met a realtor, and the realtor who helped me and my husband find our home. And she, you know, between her and my husband, they was like, hey, maybe this might be something you're interested in. And so I gave it a shot, and I've been here ever since, now over 5 years. So.
Whoa, that's what's up. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's heavy in the game. Now,
yeah,
I don't know if you knew this, but Larry and myself both have a certain affinity for East Texas. So where in East Texas are you from so we can shout them out and represent?
Okay, so I moved here from Lufkin area. So Lufkin.
Already. LP. The pack out here. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Good job. I love it. Larry and I, we love Lufkin.
Yeah. That was one of our, we always traveled through that Lufkin to get to Nacogdoches. We spent quite a few years up in the Nacogdoches area at Stephen F. Austin. So we're very, very aware of Lufkin.
So, you know, you just shared with us a little bit about your background and your experience. For any member of our audience that sees today's interview that is just inspired by either your story to buy or sell or invest in real estate, or somebody who's motivated by just seeing you, who may want to get involved in real estate from a salesperson or a realtor's end, when will their next opportunity to meet and greet you and interact with you in person? Are there any events that you guys are spearheading? When will be the next time for us to go out and just meet Miss Collins?
Well, of course, they can always meet me this Saturday.
That's right. She getting ready to give them that open house information. Y'all get ready to tune in to that. And that's where you want. That's where you want to meet at. You get to meet us there, meet some other team members. And what I like to say is, even if you are a consumer, most definitely come out. But even if you are another realtor and you're just trying to be in a space with like-minded people that are being successful, that's trying to take their business, that's taking their business to the next level, come out. Us as realtors, we never mind if other realtors come to open houses that we're hosting. It's always beautiful to have you in the building. That is never a problem. So if you're a realtor, you should experience open houses. If you're not hosting one yourself, you should be experiencing one every weekend until you build up your book of business where you are hosting open houses, where you are staying busy on the weekends, showing properties, getting contracts, right? So if you're not showing properties and getting contracts, you need to most definitely be tending open houses, getting the energy from open houses, getting the dialogue from open houses. Or either, like I said, visiting a new home community. Same thing, going in there, visiting, staying out of the way. Now, if you see a sales counselor and they engage with a client,
stay out the way.
Get out the way. Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt that. But you know what I'm saying? When they do have downtime and they're not doing paperwork, then dialogue, get a better understanding, you know, of how things work and how the system could work for them, right? So most definitely want to do that.
I want to make sure I share Ms. CuLesha Collins' Instagram with everybody. Tap in, follow her. You can be found on Instagram at CuLesha_the Realtor. It's her first name, CULESHA_the Realtor on Instagram. Follow, tap in, because everything that she's doing personally and as a member of the 5-star team is there to benefit the community, buyers, sellers, and investors alike. So like Mr. Brooks said, if you're an agent and you're not hosting an open house, you're invited to stop by. If you are hosting an open house, great luck to you. I will be hosting an open house this weekend. Anybody who would like to come out, interact, or meet and greet myself personally, I'll be at 5735 Lotus Street this weekend between the hours of 1 and 4. So everybody's invited. Stop by, interact. If you're an agent, please bring any prospective clients. If you're just a fan of the Prime Real Estate Network podcast, come out. Let's take pictures. Let's do selfies, man. Let's have a ball, man, because these real estate weekends, man, you don't have as many of them as you think. And we're getting to the end of 2022, Mr. Brooks. So we're running out of Saturdays, brother. We're running out of Saturdays.
Hey, man, listen, it's okay to run out Saturday. We're running into the holiday season where we celebrate family, where we celebrate growth together, which is what real estate is all about. It's about growth, and it's about celebrating family. So going into the holiday seasons is just another equal part of that. So it's a part of what we need to be doing.
Any final information, shout outs that you want to share with the audience? What's going on this weekend in the world of the Texas Real Estate King?
I do, man. I want to tell everyone out there, please like and subscribe. You know, we're heavily YouTube based. So you know how YouTube and the algorithm works, man. So make sure you like, subscribe, share this information with other people. And of course, if you know anybody that would be an amazing guest on the platform or on the Prime Real Estate Network, we would love an opportunity to interview them. So please let them know that we exist. Share this with them. Share this on your social media page and all of that. And then if we can ever be of assistance to you, just know that we're here. Leave us a comment, throw us a thumbs up if you're loving the information that you're getting, and we really do appreciate it.
And now, see, I almost signed off this week's episode without asking you about the new Pure Hustle hat. That's a new one.
Yeah,
that's a new colorway, bro. So, man, so what's up with that one? Where can we get it, or is that a Larry Brooks exclusive?
Hey, this is no, it's not a Larry Brooks exclusive. Everything is out to the public, man. So you can go to shoplwb.com or shoppurehustle.com, and all of the merch is on there. Books and stuff like that are on there. And if you have anything, a pop-up shop or something you want me to attend to be a part of, I can most definitely be there for that too. So, you know, this is love, man. I'm finding a way to give back, man.
Hey, man, I'm gonna give you a chance to let everybody know you still rooting for the Houston Texans, even though you in here looking like you with the Steelers.
I am most definitely a Texans fan, man. We just going through some growth spurt right now, man. So it's kind of tough on us, but I'm H-Town all the way.
And how's little Larry's football season going? How them boys doing? How's your high school football life going, bro?
Man, we good, man, but we got a challenge ahead of us tonight, man. We play tonight, 7:00 out at Freedom Field. I can't think of the team. I forgot the name of the team that we're taking on tonight, but they are 5-1. They've only lost to one team, and they have an explosive offense. So I look forward to our defense standing up and putting.
Hey, man, wait, man. You sound like you've been watching film or something, man. What you know about the explosive offense, man?
Hey, man, I'm in the game, man. Listen, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know what's going on, baby.
Big, huge shout out, man, to LWD, LD3. Big shout out to his mob, man. Big shout out to everybody, man. Stay safe, man.
Yeah.
You know how it is, man. I'm not so caught up in the winning and losing no more. I just want everybody to go home the way they came, bro.
No doubt about it.
So look, man, on behalf of myself, Ric Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Larry W. Brooks, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. In the meantime, in between time, if you need anything, if you're looking to buy, sell, invest, if you're an aspiring real estate agent, you can check us out at brooksanddavis.com. We're here for you on Facebook, Instagram. You can text, email, or DM, brother. So everybody out there, man, please, this weekend, be safe and be blessed.